So today's question is on manifestation, and quote unquote manifestation. I'm not too sure about the meaning of the word because the words have been around for a while. Like some words have been around for centuries, millennia, and they change meanings. Sometimes completely change, other times there's this nuanced, subtle changes. But the context that's given here is manifestation in terms of what's been going around for decades now in, again, quote unquote, positivity movements. Where so this is not positive psychology that I'm connecting to. It's this positivity movement where people talk about how important it is to be positive and sort of positive all the time. And there is also a note of denial of reality. Isn't anything that's sorrowful, that brings suffering, that is to be put aside somehow. I don't know how to do that, but yeah. So that's the prescription. And the crux, the main statement here that the question pertains to is this: the mind can manifest anything. This floats about mostly in that context where people go to these seminars, conferences, and they get really pumped up with the statement that the mind can manifest everything. Now, why do we get so pumped up? Because we have the mind and the thought that the mind can manifest anything, especially wealth, success, so on and so forth. Because a very important part of this movement, which has been around for, I don't know, 50s, 60s, is this success thing. You go to these seminars, conferences, so in order to find ways to be successful and or wealthy, prosperous, so on and so forth. So here it is. It's like a fix. I mean, you need success. You want success. I mean, you don't actually need success. You want success. And the surefire way is because you have the mind. The mind can manifest anything. But here's the thing. The mind is deluded. And anything that is deluded, anything that comes out of the deluded mind can be problematic because it's deluded by ignorance, seeing things not as they are, but attaching labels and stories on them, and then taking them, these definitions, as objects of people or events and so on and so forth. So the very foundation, the basic, is built on narratives. And the mind is very quick, very fast. The moment we see somebody, we look at this face and we build a narrative. We build racist narratives, misogynistic narratives, we build ageist narratives, so on and so forth. So many ways to build narratives. But all of these labels and stories attached to them, and then these labels and stories and associated emotions and feelings propelling ourselves to think in a certain way, is itself a matter of deep introspection, of investigation. So therefore, the caution is, yes, the mind can manifest anything. Also, even if we do not really try, the mind is constantly manifesting. It's weaving stories, building narratives, seeing things, feeling them, and having certain emotions going on. So that's already happening. Now the trick that you're taught in these contexts, success seminars and things like that, is that if you put your mind to a certain thing, like wealth, and a lot of wealth, I've never heard anybody in that kind of a setting talk about less than 1 million, and maybe not like million rupee, $1 million, because the dollar, by the very sound of it, sounds very impressive. So $1 million, like how to manifest $1 million, how to become a millionaire, and so on and so forth. But what we don't see is this quality of the mind, the mind that's known to us, which can be completely deluded, which is deluded. As long as we're in samsara, now I'm moving from, this general wisdom where we could just sit down, relax, and see, and be a little critical, and we see how these narratives are not absolutes. But moving on from there, if we look at what, let's say, the Buddha taught, is exactly this. He said there are concerns. There are, let's say, in the context of Buddhism, they call the 8 worldly concerns, where you want fame, wealth, so on and so forth. But then you get so deep into them, they actually move you. It's not that your fame is something for you to keep. It's that this wish to be famous actually moving you. So you are set in motion by these concerns. Now that itself is, for me, I'll use a big word here, it's scary. Because the more we are moved, the more we are propelled in our journey of this life by these emotions, by these wishes, which are once, like I want to be famous, but then slowly becoming need. It almost becomes as important as the need to breathe. So therefore, the crux, I believe, from all of this discussion is the mind can manifest everything. It does manifest everything, but the thought that we have to have, like watchfulness, like watching, is that the mind is deluded. And when we see that it's stemming out of it, it's coming out of a certain kind of delusion, to be wary, to watch, to pause, to stop, and see what's it doing to us. This going on towards mindlessly going towards wealth that's not even there, and we project it somewhere and we go after it. A certain relationship that's not there, but we want it to manifest and we go after it. In this changing, in this running, where we see a certain goal, a certain fruit, what's becoming of the journey? So the invitation ultimately is to pause and just be in the being. Thank you.